Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're doing a bit of a showcase video on the new 6 Plus that has released over on OPTC Global as well as OPTC Japan, and that is 6 Plus V2 KUZAN. Now with the release of this 6 Plus comes a lot to talk about, to be honest. With the new KUZAN system, it seems like the new Super Evolutions for Legends will be given as free-to-play characters through the Pirate Rumble system, and aokiji, or V2 KUZAN, is actually the start of this particular trend. With the producer video that we did get today, we did kind of get confirmation that that's what they will be doing moving forward, and it is a little bit interesting. I don't know how I feel about it per se, but it does raise a topic of discussion, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to belt the like button on today's video if you are enjoying the content. If you're new or you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. But with the new buffs that V2 KUZAN actually got, he actually got a pretty sizable buff. Now, I'm still not his biggest fan. The downside with these units getting 6 pluses is they are missing out on stuff like the new mechanics that we have released since these guys released. Like, V2 KUZAN came out in like 2017, I'm pretty sure the V2 Admirals came out. So, like, for the buff that he got, he's not a terrible captain. He's a 3.5 times captain to quick and psi characters. He makes their quick and psi orbs beneficial as well. And if you hit in the order, he also gives 1.35 times HP. And if you hit in the order of a psi character, then a quick character, he gains an extra 1.2 times attack. So it turns out to be about a 4.25 times captain. Now, unfortunately, that is conditional. And obviously, with conditional based captains, they aren't exactly the greatest captains in the entire world. And especially with like super types, super class and stuff, just having that base rate of like 4.5 or above, KUZAN's not going to see all that much play in terms of being a captain anyway. You can definitely use him. As you guys see here, we are taking on one of the new arenas, which is Arena Mihawk. And he does it fairly comfortably. Obviously, like, being Psi helps a lot. He has a lot of very good subs as well, because Psi is such a very powerful type. We then take on the Navy. I thought it'd be fun to take down Akainu and do like a rematch there. And then we take on Revolution Army 2. So he still can beat content. Like, don't get me wrong. He can beat content. But at the same time, like, if you know how to use a legend and you know how to put together a team, any legend can be good if you put them in the right situation. And that's kind of what we're doing today with V2 aokiji or V2 KUZAN. And we're sort of taking him into some of the newer content. Some content that normally he wouldn't do too well against. But that was against Mihawk. He does it very, very well. Let's move on to the next fight against Navy. Now, against Mihawk, I wanted to showcase that sort of utility that he actually gained in his special. With his special, he actually got a buff to his special, and this is why we're taking on Navy as well, because there's a lot of threshold in Navy. And with aokiji's 6 Plus, he gains 2 turns of damage reduction and threshold removal. In his special, the difference to his old special now is he does still rotate orbs. He used to randomize orbs being quick or psi. Now he gives you a full border matching orbs through block slots, which is much, much better. That's probably the biggest upgrade in my opinion. He gets a 2.25 times attack still to those 2 types, which is okay. It's nothing amazing, but with like 2.5 and 3 times attack boost nowadays, it's not that great. But he's still got that utility, as you guys just saw there, to actually remove 2 turns of damage reduction and to remove 2 turns of threshold. Now, that's not going to see too much play per se, but it is a nice addition. Like, I do wish that it was higher. I wish that it was at least 3. Like, at least 3 band would have been nice. But I do like that they have given a little bit of utility, but I still think that they didn't do enough to make this guy like oh, there's this content, let's bring KUZAN situation. Obviously, a character is only good as the content that it can go up against, or the content that gets released. But for KUZAN, like, that 2 turns, it's going to be good, but it's not great, I guess is the best way to put it. However, they did add a new mechanic that has been in the game for a little while now, where if you've obtained 20 psi or quick orbs, he gets 12 turns of cooldown. Basically, if you have the character Limbo Break expanded, it's like double special activation. The downside to this is it's 20 quick or psi orbs. You're pretty much never going to see that. And I tried to I tried to get that. In this particular piece of content, we actually get it. But I have a Limit Break expanded friend captain. Shout out to Christy. So we didn't actually need it anyway. So, like, when you get it, it's, like, not that great. I do understand why they did it, but 20 orbs is just too much. It's way too much. For a character that only gets 2 turns of, of utility, it should have been, like, maximum 10, and then like slap on the tag like you can only do this once per adventure, you know, like that way you've basically given him double special activation and you are hunky-dory from there. If you do have like obviously the character limit break expanded, you're gonna basically just gonna get your special back and you can pop it again, but I think you can only do it like once in a turn. I think that's sort of how it works, but I do think it works like multiple times throughout a run. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, but the idea, like what they tried to do, is just give this man double special, and obviously they can't go back and change his potential abilities because his potential ability is already set in stone. So look, that is what it is there. I do see what they tried to do, but I still think they just missed the mark. Like the orb thing to me, the 20 orbs it's way too much. Obviously, red haki affects him as well. It will reset the counter. If you get hit by red haki, it's basically game over, and that's what actually happens in Revolution Army 2. When we come up against Sabo and Koala, they actually give you red haki, and you actually lose it anyway, and it's like, ugh, oh my god. But in saying that, as a captain, if you have this man limit break expanded, like our friend captain, again, shout out to Christy for the limit break expanded KUZAN, but if you have this man limit break expanded, he actually has a pretty decent captain ability, like a pretty solid captain ability. And for 2022, it's definitely usable. I still don't think it's like S tier. Like, it doesn't come close to S tier for me. Honestly, it doesn't even come close to like A tier in my opinion. Like, it's good. Like, it's just strong. Like, it's a strong captain ability. 1.35 times HP. The attack multiplier starts at, I think, 4.25, and then if you hit in the quick and Psy order, sorry, Psy and then quick, the rest of your characters, without breaking the chain, will become a 5 times captain, which is kind of nice, but just be mindful, that 5 times captain is only for 4 units, like, and you have to attack Psy, quick, and then the rest of the team. So, as you guys will see here, this is a mono Psy team taking on Navy against Akainu, and we do use V2 Shirahoshi Mancherry. That's our sort of like cheat code to like get the quick unit on the team. So then that way we can actually attack with the quick unit, still have a mono side team, and get our Garb's challenge missions done. Nevertheless, like, aokiji still tears his way through this. He doesn't have any issues. But at the same time, like, this content has been out for a little while, and if you put the team together, like, look at the subs, right? We've got like Verse Shanks sitting there. And ideally, Verse Shanks being a 5-time Psy captain, you'd probably want to just run him over something like aokiji. And both of them lack super typing, super class, those extra specials, but Shanks obviously has his versatility as well. And again, that's going to be the real downside to like these characters getting 6 pluses, is because they just can't add like super types. I wish they could, and if you can, Bandai, like, why not? Like why not? Please. Like, if you could just slap on a super type on these characters, it would make them infinitely better. But nevertheless, he is still pretty good. With his limit break expansion as well, he does increase the chance of landing on matching orbs, which will obviously help get those quick inside orbs, because like you're running a quick inside team. Nevertheless, he is a striker character as well, which means you can hybrid him up with something like the new X-Drake, which is an option. You will obviously lose the boost on X-Drake, but if you're building some sort of striker teams with like Yamato and stuff like that, that can also work very, very nicely if you want to like slap on the quick tag, which is kind of what we do here actually. We actually bring Sober Mask, and Sober Mask is a free spirit quick unit, so he gets boosted under both Yamato as well as KUZAN, and then obviously bringing something like Chopper, getting boosted under both KUZAN and Yamato works really, really nicely. Whitebeard Roger, being a phenomenal sub, can actually be used on this team as well, because they're a striker unit, they're a Psy unit. Obviously they're not getting boosted in variation, but they're so damn powerful with their switchability, it really actually doesn't matter. So KUZAN, all in all, like, coming up against Revolution Army 2, like, obviously Revolution Army 2 is a pretty hard piece of content. Like, it's nothing to scoff at. Obviously nowadays, it's not, like, most of this content isn't like hard if you like understand what happens. You know where to stall, you have an understanding for the content. But if you're going into this for the first time, or you haven't tried this before, like, getting this done is still a feat, like a feature in the game. So the fact that KUZAN could actually get it done, and he got it done fairly easily. Now, we do have some pretty nice subs once again, but he got it done fairly easily, which is nice to see from the 6 bosses. But in saying that, I would like them to do something with the 6 bosses, where the sense of like, okay, I want to use that unit. Like, like, I want to use that unit and like, to do that, they're gonna have to like make some serious mechanics, or like give them some serious utility, or buff their specials drastically in the way that, like, even though their captain ability is not going to be great, under the sense that they don't have a super type, they don't have a super class, they don't have a versatility, they don't have a switch ability or anything like that. If you make their special incredibly cracked, then it's not going to matter. Like, the fact that you can just, like, make their special, like, incredibly strong. Say, for example, they made KUZAN special something like a 2.5 times attack boost, makes all orbs matching, and then, like, locks the chain at 3.5 times, or did something like an extra, like, a chain boost or something like that. The utility was 3 turns instead of 2, or even something like 4 turns. Like, go absolutely bonkers on it, Bandai. And then that ability was, like, if you hit with 10 orbs instead of 20, you would get the double special. Like, that would just be cooked. Like, that would be so cooked. And that's sort of what we'd want to see when it comes to these units, because then I would, like, want to run him as a sub. In saying that, though, like, you still can, but the problem is 2.25 times attack boost nowadays to Psy is very, very low, especially with you have Roger running around. Like, I understand Roger's not a Psy booster, but he's a Rainbow 3 times attack boost. Like, to be real, like, when are you running KUZAN over Roger? Unless you need, like, some sort of, like, orb manipulation, but then at that point, you just want to run Roger as captain, right? So, again, not a bad 6+, a very strong 6+, but just, it's there, you know? It's just, it's kind of there. So, we'll have to see how, like, what the content looks like moving forward, and sort of how KUZAN will fare. But at the end of the day, these 6+, they're just sort of great for treasure map. They're definitely great for stuff like point boosting events. So if you have this KUZAN, you should have all got him from the Pyro Rumble, and you are playing Kizuna at the moment, I would highly recommend farming up his skulls. I would highly recommend getting your hands on them, because he's probably going to be very useful in the upcoming events. He's probably going to be useful in the next super boss. If I'm like guessing, he's probably going to be boosted. Whether or not he's going to be like the best for the big damage teams is another story. But for you guys that are sort of missing some character, like some of the endgame characters and stuff, this guy can tussle with the best of them. I don't think he is the best of them, but he definitely can tussle with the best of them. Let me know what you guys think of this particular 6+ in the comment section below as well. I'd love to know like what you guys think of the unit. If you think they should have done more with the unit, should they have done less with the unit? Is there anything that like you would have liked to see in the 6+? I think that, like I said, the big change for me would just give them a little bit more utility. They're on the right path. They're just sort of not exceeding our expectations. And at that point, they're sort of like, honestly, in my opinion, they're not really meeting our expectations as well. In the sense that, like, there's just so many other characters that I would rather use. And in saying that too, for a new game player, if you manage to get this character, like, free to play, from Pirate Rumble, as a newer player, you have to then go into Kizuna, and you then have to farm up to box 6 to get his Super Evolution Skulls. Now, it's not hard to do as like a mid to end game player, but those mid to end game players, you're going to have better characters than this. Like, you're going to have like characters that you would use over KUZAN when you are doing this type of content. So, with these 6+, like, yeah, it's hard for me to talk him up. Like, I really want to, because I was fairly impressed with what he could do. But at the same time, like, it's just like, in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, like, Yamato does it better. Roger does it better. Shanks does it better. There's just so many other sites, and that might be one of his downfalls in the sense that, like, he does have a lot of competition as well. And in my opinion, he does have to compete with other KUZANs as well. And in my opinion, as I was just about to say, there is a rare recruit KUZAN, the quick rare recruit KUZAN, who does 5 turns of threshold and 5 turns of defense up, and then there's like a 2 times attack boost to free spirit and shooter characters. For 2 turns, he came out with the Akainu and Ace vs Ace batch, and I love that KUZAN. I don't see myself running like this legend over that unit. It just is what it is, unfortunately. Like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this unit. If you guys like the 6+, if what you guys would like to see with the 6+ moving forward. If you guys want to see more content, I do plan on taking him into Pirate Rumble. I do want to have a suss about him in Pirate Rumble and sort of see how he goes there, but he took on arenas quite nicely with double KUZAN as well, mind you, against Mihawk. So that was fairly impressive. He did have type advantage, which is why I wanted to take him in there. Plus, he could remove 2 turns of damage reduction and threshold on the final stage. So that was a big reason why I wanted to take him there. He did Navy fairly easily, and Revolution Army 2, this run here with the hybrid Yamato comps, he does fairly nicely as well. Would I limit break expand this unit? No, definitely not. Unless you have an abundance of keys, an abundance of materials, you really like KUZAN and you really like running Psy, or you really like this unit, then maybe go for gold there, but I would definitely hold on to those until like the next Super Boss comes out, because you do want to hang on to the keys and limit break expand characters then. That's probably the best time to do that. But would I 6+ him? Definitely. He definitely got a good upgrade. He got a very strong upgrade. He's just not a character that is going to see or he's just not a character that's just going to be like, oh my god, I can use KUZAN for this content, or oh my god, I'm definitely going to use KUZAN when this next piece of content comes out, unless the content is sort of tailor-made around that, like, that damage reduction and threshold, and getting that sort of double special, or they give you a whole bunch of quick insight orbs, like that's the only orbs you can get, then he's probably going to see quite a bit of play there. But it's going to wrap up the video. As I mentioned, as I keep rambling on, let me know what you think of the KUZAN in the comment section below. While you're down there, don't forget to belt that like button for me, and if you are new to the channel, or you haven't done so already, make sure to belt that big old subscribe button. But guys, most importantly, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Let's...
海軍に所属しなくても実行できることはある。